Okay. So we are streaming, and I'm trying to open up this super chat window. Let me see here. Oh. So there we are. I need to get live chat going here. There's live chat. For some reason, super chat's not really going. Oh well. Let's do this. Open it in a new window so we can minimize it. I'm not liking using YouTube to do the live chats, but you know, we promised that we would do it, so we are doing it now. Let's see. Okay. So yeah, if anybody wants to jump in the chat, you're more than welcome to jump in the chat. I'm hoping that the page will smooth out. View on watch page. Let's do this. We got 4 people watching now. If you guys would like to send us a message in the chat, you can jump on the chat thing there and send us a message. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to join us. And John, how you doing?
All right. You doing all right?
I'm doing all right. If you're wondering about this banner down here, this is the banner for our podcast, Paranormal Frequencies. It's every Sunday at 6 on ParanormalWarehouse.com's Facebook page. The .com will throw people off, I'm sure. But it's, trust me, it's ParanormalWarehouse.com. Yeah, their Facebook page. So, hello, Chastina Constant. How are you?
So,
Building an audience here. This is kind of like Facebook here, where we're kind of building an audience. I'm gonna try to keep this down so it's not in my face.
Christina
Chastina,
Chastina. Sorry,
I believe we're saying that right. You've got any questions for us? Fire one off.
Yeah, can you tell me where you're from?
No, she can fire one off. You can't. You can't ask any questions. You're grounded.
Oh man, I'm just curious where she was from.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't care. While we're waiting for some more, just to give everybody an update on where we're at, we have filmed 7 episodes of Haunting History. We've got a couple more that we're wanting to film. The season finale is going to be a big investigation. It's going to be another 2-day investigation, be an hour-long finale.
Hoping it will be amazing.
She's from the U.S., John. She's from Georgia.
Georgia, all right, that's cool.
Yeah, the season finale. We did a contest a little while back. It was a short-lived contest, but it was a contest nonetheless, and we did have a winner, Charles Fort, who's going to be joining us on the season finale.
Yep.
I should have turned my camera more this way because I like to lean.
Yeah, he's a leaner.
I lean. I don't clean. I lean.
Leaner and
Yeah, really nice and lean. I slimmed down, I think, for this second half of the season.
yeah,
I stopped drinking Mountain Dew there for a while, and
quit eating and
yeah, cut my meals down, and
yeah.
now I look
Ate a lot of hot dogs, didn't you?
at macaroni.
Macaroni and
Yep.
cheese.
I got my carbs. I got somewhat of protein, and I had a lot of beer. Beer helped.
Yeah, beer always helps you lose weight.
It does. So,
drinking champions.
I'm a Bud Light drinker. For those of you who want to send us anything, we do drink Bud Light at this channel. So you can feel free to send us some Bud Light. I'm going to post on Facebook that we are live. And I'm going to post on our Haunting History Facebook page too. So where in Georgia are you from, Chestina? I used to live in Rossville, Georgia. Used to go to the, I think it was Chickamauga battlefield. Do you guys go on ghost hunting? I've had a few experiences. Yeah, we do ghost hunt. That's what our channel is kind of about. We do, outside of filming for the show and stuff, we actually do some investigating. It's a lot of stuff you guys don't see. We do private residences every once in a while. We join other people on investigations that request us. In fact, by the way, I did hear from Timmy again.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was wanting to get together for the 4th of July weekend, and I'm like, man, he's picking bad weekends to do stuff.
Well, got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. But yeah, we join other people on investigations when we're asked to come on. We don't really set stuff up like that. But we do just do a few here and there to kill time. You know, it gets we get antsy if we don't. In between the seasons and editing and everything like that, we get really antsy.
But we live with it every day.
Yeah, John's house is actually haunted.
Yep.
I'll let you tell her. Why don't you tell her about that?
Well, my house is haunted. It used to be owned by an old woman, and her nickname was Gold Tooth Annie. And she took and used to take boarders in, and she would poison them for their money. She would put strychnine in their pancakes. Till she finally got caught. She took and killed this old dude off and took the pancakes and threw them out in the yard, but she had a bunch of yard cats. Well, cats came and ate the pancakes. Well, when the sheriff brought the old wagon to get the dead guy, cats were dead all over the yard, so that was pretty well the end of her career. So.
Yeah, and you showed me a picture of her not too long ago.
Yeah. And we also have a lady that stays in my daughter's bedroom, a little girl, and a Native American warrior that is with a Indian sect that is no longer, it's an ancient sect that is no longer around. And my daughter also is a channeler. She channels people, so.
And I actually got to see that firsthand, and I'm telling you, man, that was creepy.
Yeah.
When I first saw that. I mean, yeah. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it because it involves a case sort of branched off of one of our episodes from this season.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
But we actually did make a return trip to one of our past investigations. Last season we filmed at Malvern Manor.
Yeah.
And we did like a 2-night investigation there, but we did like an hour and a half long season finale from there. Which, I mean, it was great. That season finale was great. We had a great time there. Some awesome experiences. But this season we went back for 2 more nights, and we're going to split that up into 2 episodes.
It was pretty wild.
Again, yeah, this one was pretty wild. The outcome it's this season. I'm just gonna say, I mean, this season feels a lot different from all the other seasons. It's a lot more involved as far as research and everything goes, and I think people are gonna really enjoy it a lot more. And I'm guessing that's Carl from CC Paranormal. What's up, Carl?
Hey, Carl.
Carl's usually usually in there. He usually stops by and says hello.
Yeah.
We'll have to get together with Carl sometime. Get together with Cece. But yeah, this season it definitely feels a lot different. We kind of I kind of wanted to take that kind of approach though, to change the feel of it. Not to where it's like not to where it's like a regular TV show where they try to scare you or anything.
Yeah, it was just dark and sinister.
Yeah, just the locations and the subject matter. It's a little bit darker, and also in some of these episodes, I really wanted to focus more on the actual research that goes into the investigations, because that's something I feel that isn't on very many paranormal shows, is just how much research you really need to do on an investigation.
It's like going hunting. You always got to keep digging and digging and digging until you find everything.
Yeah,
And you got to talk to a lot of people. You got to go different places, newspapers, library. You got to do research on the internet. You got to talk to people that live around there. And
yeah, live in the area.
a lot of footwork.
Hit the museums, the libraries. I mean, yeah. So there's gonna be a couple episodes this season where we really are gonna be showing the process, and hopefully they paid out or pay off. Um, can't really talk too much about them right now because we haven't even aired it.
Yep, we'd be giving it away.
Um,
Do that.
but we did, like I said, we did go back to Malvern, and honestly, Malvern, I think, was the first stepping stone to showing people some of the research that we do. That and the Logan House episode.
Yeah.
You know, having to go to the library and do some of the research like that. Carl says as soon as we get the liability insurance, we get our courthouse back. I didn't know you guys lost the courthouse. Interesting. I guess they want you guys to get the liability insurance to do that. Let's see. Wow, I love the Warrens investigation. Let's see. Hans Mill Massacre Site. Hans Mill. I'm trying to think where that's at. I
can't think where it's at.
I think I was talking to Jimmy briefly. Jimmy McVeigh from Dusk to Dawn Paranormal. I was talking to him briefly the other day, and we kind of got onto the subject of how dark the season is, and you know, I was telling him and showing him a couple of the places that I found here in Missouri from doing research, and I showed him the video of this one place. I can go ahead and say the name because we're not going to investigate it. I don't think. I mean, not right now. We're not. The Elkland Massacre, where the boy went around his house and shot his 3 brothers and killed his mom and his dad. Then went to his aunt and uncle's house, killed his aunt, and was on his way upstairs to go kill their kids. And his uncle came in and they got in a fight in the hallway, and his uncle killed him. And that was pretty brutal. It reminded me of Amityville. Let's see. I saw another comment here. Those ghost boxes are really neat. You can talk to ghosts. You know, theoretically, they're a good tool to have if you are able to. What's the word I'm looking for? Filter out what's radio station and if you don't get overly excited about the ghost box, like the PSB7, we use that at some of our investigations. And if you are able to filter out what's coming through that, and you're not like, you know, oh, it said this, or I thought I heard this, then the likelihood of you finding something that might come through that could be paranormal or relevant to the investigation becomes a lot better, because I mean, there's some places where you won't get any radio signals, but yet you'll get a voice that pops in once in a great while. Or you get places that have tons of radio signal and you just hear all these things, and then it becomes a factor of audio matrixing.
Well, that was kind of like that one place we were at where we didn't get any radio stations, but we kept getting popping noise. Like when we'd ask a question, all of a sudden it'd pop, like it was trying to talk to us.
Yes, the I guess I could say the location. We had a interesting thing that happened with our PSB 7
We'll
at
just
the.
say a cave.
Yeah, I mean, we could say where it was at. We've already filmed there. I think it's okay to say.
Whatever.
The Spanish Treasure Cave is. This is gonna be like, historically speaking, the oldest that we go back for any of our investigations. This is like a really historic location, where Spanish conquistadors are said to have hidden treasure in this cave, and we got to investigate it. And just this spirit box session, I'm just gonna talk about the.
Gonna go back again.
Yeah, we'll be going back again. But the spirit box session was pretty interesting because being underground and having the spirit box behave the way it did was really odd and peculiar because the signal changed. It wasn't
that one time the the search rate changed.
Yeah,
That was weird.
I mean it acted in a way I've never seen it act before. So what was it? We don't know, but I think the video is actually going to be pretty damn interesting for anybody that watches it. And I'm going to try to make sure that audio is boosted for everybody to hear it. But yeah, the sweep rate on that thing, and just the static noise picked up. Like, I mean, it was just really odd, and I can't wait to show you guys that.
But yeah, they had where the conquistadors, basically they used Native American slaves and basically they killed them off. There was
After hiding their treasure.
the princess that worked with them and they killed her off. So supposedly their spirits are supposed to be in there, and so
Yeah, there was another place. I'm just gonna keep talking until you guys ask some questions. If you want to ask some questions, feel free to jump in the chat room and send us a message, send us a question or whatever. And we'll try to answer your questions as much as possible. We've seen the Echo Vox. Echo Vox was another one that we've seen, and we were with Denise and Ron Pridemore, for. Oh, I'm sorry, I was getting distracted there by that comment. We were with Denise, Ron Pridemore up in Utica, Illinois. We got to see them use the Echo Vox. I don't know what to make of it. There were some interesting things that came out, especially whenever you guys were picking on me about my egg sandwich.
Dan Williams, he had that hockey puck, but
Yeah, the paranormal puck.
the software or something was messed up.
Yeah, his was messed
It
up.
wouldn't link up, so
What do I think of the Kinect? I'll let you start off on that, John. The Kinect cams.
For if you're gonna buy one, like they're $1,200.
Yeah, the SLS.
Is it really even worth it? You know, because a lot of times those Kinects, they'll lock on to a chair, and it'll give
Door
you
frames, especially.
Yeah, it'll give you a false reading, and it looks like a little guy standing there, and it's not really. It's basically it sees the
creases.
creases and stuff in the chair, and it picks it up. So, do you want to spend $1,200 on?
Now
something like
here's the thing about the SLS is basically the Xbox Kinect camera with added software, and the SLS that you find on like these paranormal websites, the ones that are built by Bill Chappell, I'm going to start with them first. The ones that are built by Bill Chappell, pretty much what you're buying is that software.
Yeah.
The software that he's constructed to record all the different environmental changes, like the barometric pressure and everything like that. Thank you, Aether Shadow. But you don't have to spend the $1,200 that he charges to have one. You can actually buy just a regular Xbox Kinect camera and hook it up to a laptop and you can download a software for free that will run that. You use a Windows 7 laptop with Kinect.
But you can also use a tablet now.
Yeah, you can use a tablet now, and I mean it's a real if you don't care about the environmental measurements, those are a big part of it, but let's face it, a lot of the people that go out using the SLS, they don't pay attention to that.
Yeah,
They
all
just want the
want's a
stick
little
figure.
stick man.
So if that's all you're wanting, I think you could save a lot of money by just buying a Kinect camera from a pawn shop for like $30, and then
Yeah.
buying you a cheap tablet or a cheap laptop, and $200 in, and boom, you've got an SLS camera without that software, that
Yeah,
temperature
because you
reading
can go
software.
on YouTube and find sites that's already made the program. You just have to download it for your computer or whatever.
Now I'm going back on Justina's comments here. She got a star shower for Christmas, and I use it like a ghost finder. I'm not familiar with the star shower. I put it in my house because I keep hearing things and seeing things move by itself. Are you seeing the things move by yourself, like with your own eyes, or are you using like cameras or something? Carl, I also use Windows 10 with Xbox One. Yeah, the bugs, little gnat.
Tried to get.
So yeah, that's my 2 cents as far as the Xbox Kinect cameras. And
I mean, it's if you like looking at it or something like that, but I don't know. If
for
you-
us, we're kind of minimalists. I kind of prefer just a camera and a recorder myself, and I don't really need much else because I'm not out there to prove it to other people. Hey Cora, I'm not out there to prove it to other people. I just want to experience it myself. So, and that's the biggest thing for me because there's so many teams out there now. Everybody's experiencing stuff. I don't need to prove it to them that I found something.
Yeah, like I said, we're more into the history thing anyway. So
Yep.
and like when we were doing the Spanish Cave, that shadow figure that was between me and Jennifer.
Let's
Come-
not tell everything
Oh,
about the
okay.
show.
Okay. Okay.
You guys didn't hear that.
Okay, I won't say nothing. But it was awesome. No scared.
So let me ask you guys. We've got 9 people watching. What is your favorite episode from the past 2 seasons? That's my question to you. I want to know this because of the editing and everything. I'm just kind of curious to see what people will say. Out of the last 2 seasons of Haunting History, if you've watched, what's your favorite episode, or which one did you like the most? Cora, I use my digital recorder. Yep, digital recorders. It'd be really interesting to just sit around, like if we got like an analog recorder and a digital recorder and ran them both at the same time,
Yeah.
and just see if they both capture the same evidence. Malvern
Get an old
Manor.
reel to reel with a big reel on a magnetic tape.
Yeah. Gut intuition is the best piece of equipment. I think you're right there, Aether. The your own brain is your best tool. Being able to decipher what's paranormal and what's not, to know how you're feeling in a certain situation, I think is very important.
Yeah, you gotta discern between is your mind playing tricks on you or
Yeah.
is it the real thing? Because your mind can do a lot of wicked things for you.
Yeah. Let's see. Star shower is a laser beam of lights that people put outside for Christmas. Oh, okay.
Oh, them-
Use it like a laser grid system.
Yeah.
Okay. I gotcha. Yeah, laser grid systems. We've got it. We just don't utilize it very often.
Every once in a while, but not very often.
And we've in some of the shows we've actually used it, but you don't get to see it because nothing happened. I think Sally House was a good example of that. I think we popped that up there, and I think Barry had seen a shadow, but you didn't see it on camera. So I mean, it's a good personal tool to use. It's just not something that you want to really throw up there. Although the ones that have the actual lines, the red lines and stuff, I think that shows up really good on camera. And if you're able to capture something moving across there, I think it's more definitive and easier to see on film.
Yeah, I know we use a lot of static detectors and stuff like that. We got them reversed where they light up, and then when something gets close to them, the light goes off. Instead of light coming on, it just stays on.
Yeah. So Carl says Malvern Manor was his favorite one of this 2 seasons so far.
Yeah.
Um,
Wait till you see this one.
yeah, our return to Malvern Manor was pretty special. We got to learn some new information about some of the history. Um, there's some history that didn't get into the first episode of Malvern Manor. Actually, when we filmed Malvern Manor for the Haunting History series, like we didn't have any idea about Inez, the little girl that hung herself in her room. We had no idea about that. Josh never told us about that, and so I mean, there was some history that came out after that episode that started coming out, and we had to go back. Obviously, number one, because it's an awesome place, and number two, there was more history coming out that needed to be told.
I think there's going to be history that's going to keep streaming out of that place for years because
Oh, yeah.
just it's been there too long and too many different things have been in there. So
Yeah. And if anybody's wondering, for those of you who may be just joining us, the Paranormal Frequencies banner underneath our video, that is our podcast that's on ParanormalWarehouse.com's Facebook page. So if you go to that Facebook page, give them a like, you can see other paranormal podcasts as well as ours. Ours is every Sunday at 6.
Yep.
Oh, Mountain Dews make me burp.
And one good thing about when we went to the Malvern Manor this year, we got to go by the Axe House.
Yes.
That was
Yes.
awesome.
Definitely a cool place. Good. It's got its own feel to it. We didn't investigate there. We didn't film there, so don't get your hopes up. But
But we did have
we did.
something happen though.
Yeah, we did go there. Met with Johnny Hauser, and you and Dawn had your own experience up in the second floor.
Yep. As soon as we hit the about midways up on the steps, started getting dizzy and
Give me a Dr. Pepper. I got Mountain Dew.
excuse me. Started upstairs up to the second floor, and all of a sudden when I started upstairs, my ears started ringing really bad, that buzzing noise, and then when I got upstairs, got really dizzy and basically lost coordination, couldn't hardly stand up. Went in one of the rooms where the kids had to play, and about fell on the floor because it was bad.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't feel anything. Well, I did feel something. I felt a nail in the back when I tried to stand up in
Yeah,
that little
was rough.
attic room. But yeah, I mean, a lot of these places, when we go into them, sometimes you can just kind of feel the history, and the Axe Murder House. Just knowing the history, and you go in there. I mean, there is a sensibility about it, but it's nothing overwhelming that I felt there. But I'm not. I say I'm not like sensitive or nothing, but some angel, a friend of ours who's a psychic medium, remote viewer, whatever you want to call her. She was telling me that, or she actually asked me the other day why I don't use my gifts, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
because everybody attacks you, so.
I don't acknowledge my gifts. I do feel I do have a gift, but I don't acknowledge it because I don't want to progress it. And she and I got to talking about this. That like my body reacts whenever the energy level changes in a place, and I tense up. And it's not like I'm tensing up to like I'm getting mad or anything. Hello, Michelle. But it's not like I'm getting mad or anything, but it's more like my guard level is raised. Like I'm on guard, my head's on a swivel. That's why places like the Sally House, Malvern, the first time we were there, the Garnett House in Kansas. I didn't sleep the first night we were there. Think about that. And,
Yeah, we didn't
and those
sleep.
are some of the most active places
Yeah, we didn't sleep at Sally House the first night.
Yeah, I slept maybe I slept maybe about 30 minutes to an hour, maybe.
Yeah, because you hear so many stories, and you just want to be able to see it, so you keep blinking on and off, and you're like, you hear a little noise, and you're like, oh, man, I'll see something.
Yeah, Carl, we'll see you at the Kansas City Paracon. A defense mechanism. Yes, definitely a defense mechanism. Did you like doing the live show at the Crescent Hotel? It was for a good cause. Did you enjoy Do you enjoy live haunts via web and plan to do more in the future? You know, that's a good question. We've actually got something we've been thinking about doing for Halloween.
Yeah.
Um, there's we did a story on a really weird. Um, I don't know what to call it. It was a death. I'll tell you about the death. Basically, this lady's son drowned in a pond, and she went into a depression. She withdrew from church and from the community, from her friends, and her husband got divorced. Well, 2.5 years later, the police received a call from the home. It was a silent call, and so they sent some officers over there and they kicked in the door. They went into this room, her son's room, and found her sitting in a rocking chair. She was dead. She was holding a stick figure that was made to look like her son. There was an altar built up in front of her, dedicated to her son, with Sanskrit written on the altar, plus letters that she had written to her son. And also, there was a letter next to her that was actually dated that day that the cops busted down the door. So, here's where it gets even creepier. They said that she had been dead for 2 months. Yet they received a silent 911 call, and then there's a letter dated that day that they showed up. So there has been a paranormal investigation there, and the person that investigated it said that whatever's there is unlike anything he's experienced before. It's not good. He said that everybody should avoid this place at all costs, and so we thought it might be a good idea to go visit this place and do a live streaming investigation from there for Halloween. Whether it's going to happen or not, still in the mix. We're going to try it. It sounds like a really cool place to do something like that from. So that's probably the closest one we've got that we might do a live feed from. We also do Facebook Live things. When we were at Malvern Manor, on my page, we did a a really funny experiment with Josh Hurd from Malvern Manor. And yeah, we do stuff like that on Facebook Live. We're gonna start doing some more stuff on YouTube Live as we progress here. So let's see. Go to the Bel Air House, please. You know what? I might talk to Daniel about the Hinsdale, the Bel Air House. It's a little bit of a drive. We have to raise money if we're gonna venture out too far from where we're at, because everything does come out of our pockets. We don't have like sponsors or nothing like that. It's just us. So we'd have to make a special trip for that. The Bel Air House, I definitely want to do sometime. I've seen it on TV. I've heard stories on the internet. It sounds like a really cool place. Michelle's 5 minutes away from it. Lucky. I was standing on the porch.
We can go stay at her house.
Yeah, we can stay at Michelle's house.
Yeah.
I'm sure nobody will mind you shacking up with like 3 other guys. Let's see. So Justina Constant. Bathroom door closes opposite from the front door. Huh. So even if the wind did blow it, couldn't have closed the door. Oh wow. Where am I at? Alright, I'm going through some of these comments, folks. Just please bear with me. If you do a live feed on my days off, I will help via live feed. Well, thank you, Cora. We'll keep you in mind on that. Okay, well, creepy. That will be a cool show. Winchester House. I don't know. That's a hell of a place. Hey, we're invited to Michelle's. Woohoo!
All right.
I do follow Haunting History on Facebook. Have to pay more attention to Facebook. Yeah, I haven't really done a whole lot of live feeds on our Haunting History Facebook page. I want to do more on there, but it's been like we do live feeds on my page. We do live feeds on Barry's page, and we get more interaction from people on those pages. But we do need to do more activities on the Haunting History page. Your husband might. Yeah, he might. So, yeah. So this season, some of the places that we investigated, the first investigation that's going to be put out there is our investigation of the Bonnie and Clyde house.
Yep, that was pretty wild.
It's a hideout here in Joplin, Missouri that Bonnie and Clyde stayed at for 13 days. And on the 13th day, they got in a gunfight with local police, and they've pretty much killed 2 police officers. And the new owner happened to show up while we were there just looking for information on the new owner. And she let us in. We got to talking to her, and she agreed to let us in. And some really cool information that we found on that. There's a spot on the floor where, what is it called?
Mumley peg.
Where somebody had been playing
Mumley peg. That's with a pocket knife.
Yeah, where I guess they just throw the knife in the floor. But there's a big spot where you see all these knife marks, and it looks like somebody was trying to carve their name or something. There's like a C carved into the floor. There's gunshot bullet holes in the building, and
bullet hole in the closet where
they kept their
used
guns.
To put their guns at.
I wonder if one just went off in there.
That's hard done.
But yeah, they used to like clean their guns on the floor every night, which was really cool. The second episode, it's one that we're still kind of filming because we have to film it in parts. But it's on the Bloody Benders of Kansas. It's a family in the 1800s who murdered up to guesstimations was up to like 24 people, but they only found like 9 bodies. But they would murder people and rob them and then dump their bodies. And then whenever locals started getting curious about them, they disappeared and nobody knew what happened to them.
Yeah, basically they had people stop over and they would feed them, and there'd be a curtain there. And when they were sitting there, they'd take a big hammer and knock them in the head, and
then cut their throat, dump their body into
a pit underneath the floor.
Yeah. Let's see. 3rd and 4th episode is gonna be the Garnett House in Garnett, Kansas.
That was good. That was pretty wild.
That was more interesting than I thought it was ever gonna be. The Garnett House. We were actually contacted by Justin Spurrier and Rob Garcia, who recently had bought that house, and they'd cleaned it out, and we were the first paranormal team to actually investigate this location. And so you'll get to see the very first paranormal investigation there by a team. Now Rob and Justin have investigated it themselves, but they're not a team, they're just individuals. But
and it was active day and night.
Yeah, we had stuff going on, and it's pretty curious. I'm very fascinated at where we left off, how it's progressed, because they do these live feeds on paranormalwarehouse.com from the Garnett House now.
Yeah, with the 360 camera.
The 360 camera. And I've gotten really interested into how it's progressed since we left off, or from when we left, because certain things that they're experiencing coincides with stuff that we had experienced and had caught. I just subbed to your channel. Glad to come across you guys. Be safe and have fun haunting. Looking forward to seeing more. Thank you, Michelle. If you guys like scary stories, subscribe to Mortis Media. Our cemetery has 300 unmarked graves from railroad workers. We got it to... Wait. Investigate. Okay, Denise and Ron have been... I think I watched part of that video there, Carl, when you guys were out at that cemetery. So, after the Garnett House, we did the Maria de Singe massacre site. Civil War site where some people were lined up on a ridge and shot.
Yep.
We actually had Rick Park and was Nate? Yeah, Nate was there.
Yep.
And Chum was there. I call him Chum because they want us to call him Chum. Pretty much Spooks Paranormal was with us for that investigation. And then Malvern Manor, we've got 2 episodes of that coming. The old Spanish Treasure Cave, and a couple that we are going to be shooting here soon is the Young Brother Massacre, where at the time it was the largest police shooting in America.
Yeah.
6 police officers were killed at that one. And then for our season finale, the Belleville Winery, the Oddfellows home in Kansas City.
Yep.
And we will have guests with us. We will be filming not only for Haunting History, we will be filming also for True Ghost Stories with Steve Hayes and his team and Rick Park. Yep. And also Charles Fort, who won our contest. He'll get to join us. So those, and that one we're going to be there for 2 days too. So, I mean, you got to love that. Sleeping in that place. I don't know where I want to sleep at, but something's telling me the basement.
I think we're gonna sleep out in the wine groves.
Yeah. We'll wake up late. Why my head hurt? Something's wrong with that wine, man. Don't know, Cora. So, have any of you got any questions for us? Anything you want to know about the past shows? What we got coming up? Anything that might pique your interest? I'll leave the floor open. I didn't bring that shirt in here. I was going to show everybody the shirt.
Oh, well.
Because I want to do I do want to pick somebody to give away a T-shirt, a 4-State Paranormal T-shirt.
Yep.
Go to the new episodes and Haunting History. Cheers and send you my very best. Light, love, and many blessings. Well, don't go anywhere just yet, Aether.
Oh, he wants to know how my lights are doing.
Put on the old feedback. Well, just before you tell them, Aether, we are going to do a giveaway, so if you can stick around just a few minutes, I'm going to show you guys this shirt. I'm gonna do a contest real quick, and out of the folks here in the chat room, and one of you all are going to win a signed shirt from everybody here at Haunting History. So give me just a minute. John, you can tell them about your lights while I go get this shirt. So I will be right back, folks. This is what I get for not preparing.
Yeah. Anyway, anybody wants to know about my lights? Lights are going good. My work light selling good. I'm working on 2 new camera lights. I've got 2 prototypes done. One is just straight 9-volt battery, and the other one I'm making, it's going to be where you can jack into it with a external power supply. And like say you want to run it on your camera for a long time, you can attach it with a hot shoe on your camera and get you a power bank, hook a cord to it, and run. Excuse me.
Nice.
Basically all night long.
Oh, Lordy.
So it'll probably be talking about making it where you can jack like that, and then where you can also use a 9-volt battery, either way. So, but it's going good. So anybody wants something, it's Moonface Lighting at yahoo.com.
Cora's wanting to know, how many times have y'all gotten attacked? Myself personally, as far as physical attacks, I have never been attacked. I have been pushed on the shoulder once. I've had my shirts tugged on. And also the Route 66 theater where, I've kind of, I don't want to say channeled, but, had those thoughts and feelings of somebody else, but that's about it for me. I mean,
yeah, and me, the only thing, let's see, Malvern Manor, was doing setting by myself up by room 17 and 18 where the guy that kept raping the other guy, and basically I went into a real deep depression, and the depression went from that to like really scared, like you want to just jump and run like hell. And the only other thing I've ever had is at the Sally house, filming in the basement, turned around, or I didn't turn around, I looked behind me because I had a feeling, and there was a full body apparition in color staring at me with bloodshot eyes, and we had eye-to-eye contact, and my heart went about 10 miles an hour or whatever you want to say. And I took and looked away, and I looked back, and it was gone. That was about all for me.
Yeah, I mean, to get attacked, it's actually really rare. Um, I mean, if you watch TV shows all the time, they'll show the attacks, or they'll tell you about stories of attacks. But those are just stories. Those are just like if let's say you watch My Ghost Story or something, and this one location somebody got scratched or punched or kicked and thrown across the hall or something. That's probably like one out of how many investigations that have been in that location, or one out of how many investigations that happened. Period. So I mean, you got to think it's not really a huge number like you would see on TV.
I think what a lot of it is, they either like you or they don't. You make them mad or something. You know, people go in there, and a lot of people will provoke people and stuff. You torque them off. I won't say the other word, but you torque them off. So sometimes the ramifications, they don't like you. They're gonna knock the crap out of you or whatever. But my house is haunted. I've been living with them for over 13 years, and they don't do anything. They talk to you. They show themselves. They move stuff on you. They like to pull pranks. They'll take something from one room and move it to another room. They hide stuff. But other than that, that's about it.
All right, real quick, we're gonna start this. I'm gonna give you guys some time to answer my question here, though.
Uh-oh.
But what we're gonna do, see this shirt right here. This was one of our first paranormal shirts right here.
Woo.
Right? This shirt, not this one in particular, because this one's dirty. That shirt, we are going to do a giveaway. We are going to sign it. Everybody from Four State Paranormal is going to sign that shirt. But here's my question for you guys to win this shirt. The first person that can answer this question, and I think I know who's probably going to end up answering it. I might have to change my question.
Yeah. Don't make it too easy then.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Let's say. All right. This is gonna be a tough one. This is gonna weed out like who's watched one or two episodes versus who watches all of them. In one of our episodes, there was a family that had passed away. Each one of them from relatively the same sickness, injury, whatever you want to call it. There were multiple people in this location that died from the same thing. Which episode was it? And the first person that can answer me this wins that shirt signed. It's probably a really hard one for some of these people. This is how we're gonna weed out who follows us and who has seen it. So while you guys are thinking about it, where's the most scariest place that you have been, John?
The most scariest place? A castle in Turkey.
You want to elaborate?
I was stationed in Turkey and used to travel a lot. And so there was a bunch of us decided we were going to sleep on this castle, and it was called Snake Castle. Well, the castles over there were during the Roman days and the Hittites and everything else. And everybody always said this castle was haunted. So there wasn't no path or anything. You drove up there, but then you had to climb the rocks to get to it. So here we are dragging a cooler full of beer and hot dogs and stuff like that,
Because you don't investigate without beer and hot dogs.
Yeah, I can't live without hot dogs and beer. But we were going to spend the night up there, and nobody's ever stayed the night up there except for us.
Idiots.
Yeah. We went up there, and of course, during the day we climbed all over. Had like the room still there where you could see where the fire used to be, and it burnt the wall and stuff like that. So nighttime came, and we were sitting there, and all of a sudden you heard like swords clacking back and forth, and people talking and people walking around. You could hear like horses, and you know, when you're in a strange country, you kind of like let your mind go a little bit. But when you're hearing swords and all that stuff, it kind of freaks you out. So that's
So that was the scariest?
yeah, that was pretty scary.
Because that doesn't sound scary.
Well, I mean, if you got to figure, you're up there in the middle of in the night. There ain't no lights out there.
True.
You're out in the middle of the country,
That's true.
and it's just pitch black. And here you're sitting up on top of a mountain on this stupid castle.
I think that'd be fascinating more than anything for me, at least.
But it was a lot of fun. But I was glad morning showed up.
Cora, no, it was not the castle house.
It was the name of the castle was Snake Castle. It's by
No. She was talking about the
okay.
guessing.
Okay.
No, it wasn't the
Alright.
castle house. Um,
But yeah, the castle I went on was called Snake Castle, and the reason it was called Snake Castle, the king didn't want his daughter to get bit by an asp, and so he built this castle up on top of this mountain. Well, a servant brought fruit in. Well, it had an asp in it, and that's how she really died.
damn. She's just guessing episode 6. Are you just throwing a number out there? I think you're just throwing a number out there. Okay, let's make this easier.
Yeah, better make it easier.
The answer to that, by the way, was the Logan House. Season 2. Alright. So let's make this a little bit easier. And if you have another device, you can use it to find out the answer. The question will be, what was the very first EVP that we captured in the show? One of John's favorites, I think. So that's your question. What was the very first EVP captured on the show? And here's your clue. It was in the first episode. Just tell me what it says, and then the first person to tell me what it says will get the shirt. Now, for me, the scariest place that I've been to, it's starting to go like this for me with a couple places. To start off, the Sally House for me is kind of up there because the first time I ever went there, I had my a couple former members. This was a long time ago. We were investigating there, and me and my co-founder, we had gone off to interview the Pickmans, and we left Gene and another investigator there to unpack everything. And when we got back from the Pickmans, and the Pickmans came with us to investigate, but when we got back, Gene, it was like it wasn't Gene. I mean, Gene is like one of the nicest guys you'd ever meet. He's
Mr. Teddy Bear.
Yeah, he's Mr. Teddy Bear. He's very mild mannered. You wouldn't see him mad, but for some reason, he was absolutely pissed off that Mike and I were gone for so long, and we drove 5 hours to get there. And as soon as we got there, he was ready to leave. He was so pissed off. He was wanting to leave. So we took him out of the house, out into the street, and to see ask him what was going on with him, and when we got out there, he's like, I don't know why I was mad at you guys, and I have no reason to be mad at you. And but it was also like, you know how you can sometimes you see somebody's face change, like it doesn't really change, but there's like something about it that's different.
Kind of like Barry.
Yeah. That happened to Gene there when he was mad and everything, and we noticed it. Both Mike and I noticed it, and we saw it go back to the way it was. Like it just kind of went back for us, like it just faded back.
I think it kind of gets like a dark look about it.
It's weird. It's hard to describe. It's like it's their face, but it's like a little deformity of their face. I don't know.
Yeah, like Barry, when he
the brow line got more protruded,
yeah.
and Yeah,
and his face got darker. I mean, it's like
he just looked
like
angry.
a shadow would come upon him or something.
Yeah. So that happened. Also, Mike and another investigator got sick at the same time with the same symptoms there at the Sally house. On that same investigation, then while we were setting up, at the time we'd take pictures of stuff to see, like before and after we leave, or before and after we're done investigating, so we can see if anything's moved. Went to take a picture, and I looked away so I wouldn't blind myself with the flash, and it went off, and I happened to be looking at the window, and when the flash went off, there was a little girl standing right next to me. Scared the crap out of me. I'm not gonna lie. I was still green at this point, so that caught me off guard. I was like, okay, just turn around and quietly walk downstairs. I get to the bottom of the stairs, and Mike tells me, "Hey, David, go back up there and snap some more pictures. I thought I saw something up there." So I'm just like, man. Walk back up there, snap the pictures off. Nothing else happened that night except for an incident with the Pickmans. I'm not going to go into detail about that because there's a little BS there. But just the stuff that I seen it affect Gene, and I seen it affect Mike and this other investigator. And then when we went back for Haunting History, Barry got sick there. So when Barry got sick, that was like a flashback for me. Part of the reason why I stayed up all night, because my guard was up from that. So I've got two people saying the Constantine of the lady singing. No, it's not the singing. It's the actual EVP. There's a woman that says something. What does she say? I'm not even going to count the singing as an EVP because it was so faint.
It was what happened after the singing.
After the singing.
After the singing. It was awesome. Yeah, it was like, because that ball of light come up out, shot up the steps, or that white ball of light.
I didn't see a light. I saw a white thing.
Yeah.
I didn't see a light. It was like as if somebody was wearing a T-shirt and like a white shirt and just went upstairs. Yes, it is at the Constantine Theater. There it is. Well, I'm gonna count this, Cora, but it's the come get me. Come get me. I guess it could be saying come find me.
Come find me.
It could be. So, Cora, you are the winner. Sorry, Carl, but at least you'll get to meet me again, and we get to hang out at the Kansas City conference.
Yeah,
that's your consolidation prize.
Get to be bros.
Yeah. Come find me. Come get me. The Constantine Theater, one of the wildest EVPs to capture.
That was the most craziest I've ever seen Dave go.
I got excited because nobody else.
So excited about Peter's pants and stuff like that.
I got excited because nobody else was experiencing it, or nobody else was admitting it or acknowledging it. My YouTube is being gay, but I'll keep trying to watch.
Who's that?
Michelle Woodhull.
Gay.
You can't say that. Yeah. For any of you that are going to be in the Kansas City area in August.
Yeah.
I think it's the 4th and 5th, or 5th and 6th. It's that weekend, the Friday and Saturday.
I was like 7th and 8th.
Now you're going to make me look, aren't you? Now Jason's messaging me.
Holy crud, look at that face. That's
playing Texas City Coalition. Yeah, that I remember very well. It was said clearly. Yeah, the Kansas City Paracon, that's going to be happening in August. I will be one of the speakers at the conference. We were there last year. Had a great time. It's one of the better conferences I've ever been to, and everybody talks to everybody. It's very friendly. I've been to conferences where people are kind of cliquey, but this isn't one of those conferences. We'll also have a booth there. John will be selling some of his lights. But yeah, I'll be speaking at this one again. I spoke there last year. Everybody was really great. even the people that weren't like part of paranormal teams or had a booth or anything, people that just came to visit were really great. Met some really good people there. Carl from CC Paranormal.
Yeah, everybody, they weren't stuck up.
Yeah, Tammy Beth and her
A
husband.
lot of times you take and go to places and they're really like they're better than you or something.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I go all over the country talking. I don't have time to talk to you.
I talk too much. I don't
You
want to
are
talk anymore.
minuscule.
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
So, yeah.
Anyway,
Cora, I will get with you on Facebook and we'll figure out the
Your
address
address
and everything to send that shirt off to you.
of course it's COD though.
Cash on delivery?
Yeah.
Oh. Are you going to deliver it personally?
No, I'm just kidding. Come on.
He's going to deliver it. He wants cash.
I want that money.
It's for the drugs. For the drugs. He didn't rebut it. There was no rebuttal. All right. So, again, if anybody's got any questions for us, feel free to shoot them off. Yeah, Para-Unity is what it's all about. This year, it's going to be held in a different spot. It's going to be the Shrine, or not Shrine Mosque.
Wrong place.
The Masonic Lodge in Kansas City.
Yep.
And the place is actually divided up with two or three separate rooms. One room's going to have the
Speakers in it.
the speakers. One room's going to have all the vendors. So the only issue we had last year was it was one big room, so everybody talking in the back were too loud for the speakers and everybody up front to hear. So at least with the separation, there won't be anybody getting mad.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
They can't hear me.
And there will be beer. Big Rip Brewery is supplying beer again. You'll still have to pay for it, but there will be beer.
Yeah.
Tickets are really cheap. It's like $15 online or $18 at the door for 2 days. $10.
It's cheaper buying them online.
What was the? Yeah, it's cheaper buying them online.
And the investigation is $10.
Yeah, the investigation that on Friday night
Yep,
is
Friday
$10.
I don't know where they're going to investigate at.
The temple there.
Brewery?
The Freemason, the lodge.
Yeah. I
They're
know.
gonna investigate that. But I'm not gonna investigate it because I want to get some sleep before we go for Saturday and speak because I don't want to be tired speaking. Also, if you're down in Fort Smith, Arkansas, there's gonna be a good conference there.
Yep. We'll be down there too.
We'll be down there for the 15th. It's going to happen on the 13th, 14th, and 15th in Fort Smith, Arkansas. Christopher St. Booth will be there, which is really cool. I like that guy. Met him once in person, talked to him all the time online. Really nice guy. How do you all choose to investigate areas? We flip a coin. No, we actually we do a lot of research. We look for historical places. One really good thing that I've discovered about looking for locations is if you utilize your internet, go to different museums for different towns, and look at the historical places that they reference. And you can actually go into they'll actually go into the history of these locations. And a lot of these places people don't know about, and that's how how you can find like these hidden gems of places. Some of the research I do, I'll look up really macabre things like murders and whatnot. That's how I can find like some of the more brutal historical locations. But yeah, checking out museums and checking out libraries are a good way to find historical locations, and they don't have to be in a big area. I mean, let's see, we're in Knoll. I'm sure if I went to there's not even a museum here in Knoll, but if I went to like the library, I'm sure that there's either a book of McDonald County, the county that we're in.
Neither.
Well, if I go to the Pineville Library,
Yeah.
I can find a book on the county and find out historical places and then see if they're still standing and see, just kind of go from there. But yeah, libraries, museums, best way to do it.
One place we're talking about going to the Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah, there was a question earlier asking us if we do anything with Native Americans and stuff, and we were actually We were told that we could do this late last year and then early this year for one of the episodes. But there's an Indian primary school in Oklahoma that somebody was going to get us access to. Place was well known to have shadow figures of children and stuff, but also skinwalkers.
And little people.
Children. I'm just going to call them children.
Okay.
Because there was a smallpox epidemic that happened there, and they did a
just
mass
dug
burial.
holes through 'em anyway.
Yeah, and so this place is supposed to be really haunted by these children and the skinwalkers. So we had two things that we could have investigated right there, but I guess things fell through for her. She got really busy. I don't know what happened, but not gonna happen this year, or at least not for this season.
Yep. Maybe it'll be next year.
Yep.
I'm still alive, but
Pine Mountain is very old and small town. I love it. I'm guessing that's in Georgia. Yeah, I'm actually something I've got going on after the season starts coming out. After we start releasing, I'm gonna be teaming up with Josh Hurd on a documentary, and we're gonna head out to North Carolina to to do some investigating. We're not searching ghosts.
looking for mushroom people.
That's right, mushroom people, so we can eat them and grow like Mario. No, Josh and I are putting together a documentary. Hopefully, we'll get it done in a short amount of time because I got more filming and more projects to do. So that'll be
Ghost lights.
that'll be pretty kick-ass. Yep. Yeah, we're actually going to be doing the documentary on phantom lights and spook lights. So the Brown Mountain lights out in North Carolina are pretty interesting. One of the locations that we want to go shoot at. So, anybody got any more questions? That was my weird, creepy guy thing. I'll never do that again. It's hot in here. There's a delay, so I'm kind of waiting for different
So
questions.
we're gonna catch on fire.
We may even do a live stream from the Oddfellows home. I think
Yeah.
we could do something like that. Spend maybe a couple hours on Facebook live streaming it.
Yep. Good.
I think that's a good idea.
Yep.
And I'm sure Rick Park and all them, they'll be all for it. I don't know if we're gonna get this. I know they remodeled like a couple of like one hall or something like that to make like a bed and breakfast style rooms or something. They were talking about maybe getting some of those, but I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
I'd rather just sleep in the old part.
Huh?
Sleep in the
Oh,
old
yeah.
part.
Just get our blow up mattresses, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Dave, y'all talking about Hagerstown, Maryland? Nope, not Hagerstown. No.
I didn't know they had mushroom people there.
Now for the documentary, we're gonna be shooting all over. There's gonna be about 4 different locations. One just north of us here in Joplin, one in North Carolina, and then one in Michigan, and the other one is unknown at this point. We still have to do some discussing on some things. Still in the early works, still in the early process, but right now I'm just kind of focusing on getting the Haunting History Season 3 done and out.
Yep.
I-
I'm working on plans to go to Skinwalker Ranch.
You're going to go to Skinwalker?
Yep.
Shit. Good luck, buddy. You might want to shove a GPS tracker up your bum. Just in case anything happens to you, we can find you.
I ain't got to worry about that.
What, about the thing up your bum or about getting kidnapped?
Getting kidnapped.
I don't know. You might.
Already been there, done that.
Well, doesn't mean it won't happen again.
So.
Have you ever had to get the insurance to investigate? Actually, no, we never had to. I find it kind of odd but gratifying that we haven't had to. And this is what people always ask me about. Something that I always throw out there, but people ask me to go in depth on it. I'm not going to go in depth on it right now. But I'm cheap when it comes to investigating. I let everybody know this. I don't think... When was the last time we paid for an investigation? I don't know either.
Been a long time.
We don't pay to go anywhere.
They beg us to come.
Well, they don't beg us. I wish they would beg us. But
Please come.
to be honest with you, I mean, we actually, ever since I started, I never really paid to go anywhere, and that's why you don't see us like going to, like Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum or the Missouri Jefferson Penitentiary, Missouri State Penitentiary, or anything like that, because they want us to pay, and I refuse to pay for that, because if they could guarantee us that we capture something paranormal, I'll go. If they can guarantee it. If they can't guarantee it, why go?
I think
Why pay to go?
I think the only place we ever paid was the asylum we went to, but that was where we donated money.
Oh, yeah.
And it was for a good cause. So.
Yeah, it was more of a donation.
Yeah.
And that was last year. Last time we were there.
Yeah.
But all these places that we've gone to for haunting history, we've gone for free. Places like the Elms Hotel, they actually really fixed us up. I mean, they gave us a hell of a room, and
Yeah, they gave us a key card with all the haunted rooms and they gave us access. And
John and Barry spent some time in the hot tub together.
yeah,
It was like heaven.
yeah.
The Crescent Hotel, they usually put up for us. They give us rooms. We get hooked up pretty good with a lot of these places, and it's not just because we film, but we've done so much, like with the Crescent, we've done so much there that I don't want to say we're like a staple to them, but we're just known. We're kind of like friends, passing through. Cora, no, the Freemason Lodge that I was talking about is the one up in Kansas City. It's for the Paracon that's going on in Kansas City. They're doing an investigation on that Friday. But so no, with us not having to pay, nobody's ever asked us about insurance. That's pretty much it, man. I mean, I could go into a little bit more about how we don't pay, but I think you get the point. I mean, for me, it's just I don't feel like it. I don't feel like paying, to put it mildly. I mean, we'll pay for trips. We'll spend money for gas and lodging and stuff. But for the investigation, I'd just as soon not pay because yes, they're letting us in, but we're also giving them evidence, and that might sound shady and shitty and everything in between, but we're providing a service for them, and they're providing access for us. So, I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand. So, that's the reason why I don't like to pay. Now, if somebody could guarantee me, yes, you'll see an apparition, but it's going to cost you $700, take my $700. But if I don't see it, give me my $700 back. That's how I feel. And I've investigated so many places that I could go anywhere now. If somebody won't let me in a place because I don't pay, I'll just go somewhere else. It's that easy.
Yep.
And plus the amount of research we do, we can find these places that are like hidden gems, so they're not going to charge us to go. Except for the Hutchinson Library in Hutchinson, Kansas.
Yeah,
man.
that was pretty weird. Haunted library, and they wanted what, $200
For 2 hours.
For 2 hours.
$200. Can you believe that? But anyway, let's see. We now work for the sheriff department for unexplained situations. That's interesting. That's something I want to know a little bit more about. There is how that all came about and everything.
No, that's what we're doing.
Working for the sheriff's department?
No, working for a realtor company.
Oh, yeah, realtors. They're working for the sheriff's department.
Yeah.
For unexplained cases, I'm guessing. So I'm guessing if something mysterious is going on a case, they call you guys in to, dig a little bit more.
In case they get an alarm go off all the time and nobody's there.
That is actually a really good idea, though.
Yeah.
And see, that's another way you can find different locations. Talk to your local police.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, some of the officers have had experiences that they cannot explain, and they will probably be able to get you access to some of those places. And if you really wanted to be a, creeper about it, maybe they'll get you access to a recent murder location.
Yeah.
Not the actual crime scene, but, the location. And, unless you're into that kind of thing, then that's kind of creepy.
The macabre.
So, again, let me just say thank you guys for, subscribing, following us. We really appreciate it. I bet the police have lots of good stories to tell. Sheriff and deputies see things that they can't explain in the paranormal. Yes, that is true. Again, thank you guys for joining us on the live Q&A. We appreciate you guys following us on YouTube. If you're not following us yet on Facebook, look up Haunting History on Facebook and follow us there as well. We'll try to do more stuff on there as well, so it's not so, bland. We'll try to do more live things on here as well. And we can't wait to get this third season out to you guys. I think you're really going to enjoy it, and you're really going to appreciate the research and the effort that we put into the actual investigating and everything, all the aspects of this. We wanted to keep it as real as possible and as relatable as possible because, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that nobody else shows, and we want to show that just because we appreciate everybody that takes the time to put that effort in. Yeah.
Yep, we don't falsify nothing. We don't, and EVPs, if you can't hear them, trash can.
Pretty much.
Orbs, vacuumed.
So this is going to end it for our live Q&A. Again, we thank you. And follow us.
Don't forget to come see us on Paranormal Frequencies tomorrow
night.
6 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's Paranormal Warehouse.
ParanormalWarehouse.com on Facebook. Don't go to their website. Just type in ParanormalWarehouse.com and you'll find it. So yeah, catch us on there for Paranormal Frequencies tomorrow night if you liked our Q&A thing. We have stories and stuff that we do on our podcast as well. News and stories. And great information. And John's beautiful mug.
Yeah.
So, thank you guys. We are ending this. And happy hunting.
See you guys later.